Okay, let's give this a try. Excuse everything behind me. This is not my house. I have recently become homeless again. Well, not homeless. Don't have my home. Um, I'm going to go back 30 something years now to 1980 and tell an account of an event which occurred to me. And here we go. I was going through a typical college experience time in my life, and I was having fun in college, partying, dating girls, pretty typical college boy. And I had become very engulfed in the experience and very engulfed in life, and thought I knew where I was going and what I was up to. Later to find out that not so much. Um, I met a girl who told me that when she met me that she had seen me before. I imagine in her mind or in some dream, and that something big was going to happen. I didn't pay that much attention to it. I thought that was weird. Um, a couple of days later, I saw her again, and she said the same thing to me. At this point, I pretty much in my mind thought, "Watch out! This girl's crazy," or something like that. um, so I didn't really, pay that much attention to it, and I continued on probably for another week or two. And one day, I found myself in Tallahassee. This all occurred in Tallahassee, Florida, at FSU. In my townhouse that I was renting at the time in the woods, and I was on the back deck of my townhouse, lying down on a big bench, big wooden bench, and just on my back, staring up at the sky, looking at the blue sky and the clouds. They were drifting across the sky, and everything was really peaceful and quiet, nature, just lying there. And all of a sudden, I saw in the sky a black bow tie shaped thing. It was shaped like a bow tie that a man would wear. And it was slowly drifting across the sky. And I sat up and looked at it, and I'm thinking, what the hell is that? And I stood up, and I really was, staring at it, trying to figure out what this was. It was continuing slowly to just move across the sky, and I'm thinking, what could that be? Is it a UFO? What am I looking at? I noticed at that point that it encountered a cloud and was behind the cloud, and the cloud was covering the bow, so it went behind the cloud. Um, so therefore, you could tell that it was something, and that something was happening. It was disappearing behind the cloud. I watched. It went in and out, behind some clouds, and eventually it disappeared. Uh, so I'm standing there thinking, what in the world is this? I'm completely dumbfounded. I'm just stumped and standing there. I'm like, I never saw anything like it before. It doesn't fit in any category of anything anyone would ever say. I walked inside. I'm standing there. I'm confused. I turned on the TV. I don't know why. I guess I was looking to see if it was on the news or something. Didn't see anything. I did see a report of a weather balloon like 200 miles away somewhere in like Orlando or Gainesville or something. and that was cited hours before, and this wasn't any weather balloon. So I turned off the TV and I walked further into my living room, and I'm just absolutely, dumbfounded. So I noticed, I looked at my bookshelf and I noticed a book tilted out forward and leaning all the way over, almost like if it went any more further, it would fall. And all my other books were perfectly straight, organized, compulsively neat, which is the way that I am. So I walked over and I took out the book. It was the Torah, the Old Testament. And I opened it to an arbitrary page. And this is what I read at that moment. God further said, "This is the sign that I have set for the covenant between me and you and every living creature with you, for all ages to come. I have set my bow in the clouds, and it shall serve as a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. When I bring clouds over the earth, and the bow appears in the clouds, I will remember my covenant between me and you and every living creature among all flesh, so that the water shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. When the bow is in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures, all flesh that is on the earth. That, God said to Noah, shall be the sign of the covenant that I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth." So, I had just seen a bow in the clouds, didn't know what it was, walked inside, saw this book leaning forward and read that, and at that moment I felt a rush come over me, like my hair standing up on the back of my neck, and got that whoa feeling, and in my mind I kept trying to figure out how can this happen? How can this happen? How can you see something like that and read something like that? So it began to hit me that this was an event. This was contact. I was overwhelmed. It was overwhelming. I kept trying to think of how to explain it. Could it be a coincidence? Could I have just opened the book to a page and read it? But then, okay, that could happen. But not having seen a bow in the sky before it, there was no mathematics that I could rationalize to explain it. I tried. For a week, I tried. For 2 weeks, I tried. It's been 30 years. I'm still trying, although I'm really not. I gave up trying. The mathematics of it distilled it down to a defining, life-changing event for me. To me, I could never arrive at another explanation. I felt it stirring inside me at the same time, and it changed my life, that event moment. It began repeat encountering events began to unfold where there was communication of various kinds and various other events. And those were all recorded in the book that I wrote, including this chapter. And I think I cried from that moment. I began to cry, and I don't know how long I cried for. It seemed like it was 3 days. It was indescribably emotional. Okay, that's it.